Welcome to my channel, Tony's Cool Tools. And if you're new, thanks for stopping by. A number of you have asked for me to do a review on my outdoor wood boiler. So that's what we're going to do today. Stay tuned. If you follow my channel, on video 35, I did a review of how to start a fire and also showed you my indoor fireplace. That's mostly for ambiance, but it does produce a lot of heat as well, and that's in addition to the outdoor wood boiler. After retiring and moving to Wisconsin several years ago, I decided to heat my house with wood, and I wanted to get an outdoor wood boiler. I have 6 acres here, and we have red oak, white oak, cherry, red and white pine. Unfortunately, the red oak is getting wilt and dying quickly, so I have a number of trees. I actually don't even have to leave my property or my neighbor's property, and I have plenty of wood to harvest. The reason I decided to go with firewood was the fact that I keep seeing fuel costs, both LP gas, natural gas, electric, and oil, going up double digits. And it's getting crazy here now. The average person can't afford to heat their house now. So I decided, since I had the resources on my property and able to get free wood, why not do it? I did a lot of homework on the outdoor wood boiler, but what I found is if you want a lot of information here in central Wisconsin, go to the Custard Energy Fair. It's usually in June, July, or August. And pretty much every manufacturer that you can think of has a booth set up there for solar, wind power turbines, and outdoor wood boilers. After doing my research, I found I definitely wanted to go with a gasification unit. And the reason for that is twofold. One, all the new governmental regulations that are out there. The folks out on the East Coast know this probably better than us and the folks in California. Mandates are coming through on firewood and fireplaces. Getting to be pretty crazy there. So I figured I'd jump ahead and get a gasification unit now, which that's why I went with this. The second reason I went with a gasification unit is it uses less wood. So you can burn less wood and get more heat. Now, getting more heat is based on several factors. One of them is dry wood. The gasification units definitely like dry wood, unlike the other units which you can pretty much burn anything, pallets, green wood, and everything else. But by the time you burn all the moisture out of the wood, you're losing BTUs out of it. So that's why I figured I'd cut to the chase and get dry wood and get more BTUs out of it, benefiting me. Heatmaster recommends 20% and under for seasoned dry wood, and that's what I try to get to. After doing my research, I narrowed it down to 2 companies, Crown and Heatmaster. Now, I actually decided on a Crown unit. I went to see the dealer, I saw the models that they had, I was extremely satisfied with their technology, and I was going with that unit. The deal breaker, unfortunately, was the dealer that I had gone to was new and had never installed an outdoor wood boiler. And I did not want to be his guinea pig on that first one. He may have done a great job, but I wasn't going to take the chance. After contacting Karl from Sustainable Heating Solutions here in Wisconsin, I was very comfortable with going with him and the Heatmaster G200, and I'll explain why. Karl is an HVAC installer, so he had been doing this for many, many years, 10 years plus, and became a dealer for Heatmaster and had installed their units. The other reason that I went with Heatmaster over Crown was that Crown, though had better reviews, had only been in the industry when I bought it in 2019 for about 1.5 years, 2 years. So they may not have worked out all the bugs out of their units, whereas Heatmaster had been doing this for about 6 or 7 years prior to this. So they've had a couple of different iterations of the outdoor wood boiler with gasification. So I felt very comfortable going with them, and I'm glad I did. The Heatmaster G200 is a downdraft outdoor wood boiler with vertical heat exchange tubes. I'll show you those momentarily. Though primarily used outdoors, this unit is approved for using indoors as well. So if you want to put it in your outbuilding, inside your outbuilding, you can with some modifications. But here's the cool thing. These units will not only heat your house, your outbuilding, and possibly your garage, but you can do your pool, you can do a hot tub, and the thing I love the best, and so does my family, is unlimited hot water. Yep, unlimited hot water. And that's with the use of a heat exchanger tied into your cold water line going to your hot water heater. All right, time for some specs now. First, I had to calculate the square footage of what I wanted to heat. I had my house, which was 2,600 square feet. I had my pole building, which was 36 by 54, or just under 2,000 square feet. And Karl also put in a heat exchanger in my garage, which is a 24 by 20, so that's roughly just under 600. So I was at close to 5,000 square feet. The G200 is up to 5,000 square feet. A, I don't heat my pole building all the time, and B, I don't heat my garage all the time. So I felt there was sufficient capacity for this G200 to heat my house and all my heating needs. The G series comes in a 100, 200, and 300. And I'm not quite certain about the 100, how many square foot, but the 200 is up to 5,000 square feet and the 300 is up to 7,000 square feet. The maximum BTUs is 232,000 per hour, but that varies depending on the type of wood you use naturally. And the 8-hour burn rate is 112,000 BTUs per hour. The G200 is basically a large water boiler. It stores 195 gallons of water that it heats up and then heats the house. The firebox shown here is 28 by 30 by 36. And the door to load your wood is a 20 by 20. Now this puppy weighs 1,800 pounds, so not easy to move, I'll tell you. The chimney size on this is 6 inches. The dimensions on this unit are 51 by 71 by 88. Well, let's start with the control panel, which is the heart of the unit. As you can see, it's pretty simple. On, off, cold start, and gives you all the information right here. These units are also now being able to be controlled like the smart house technology, that you can hook this to your phone and control it from the phone. Unfortunately, I'm not smart enough to operate it that way, so I do it manually. This is one option you definitely want on an outdoor wood boiler, regardless of whether it's this manufacturer or anyone other, and that is a smoke bypass. And what it is when I open this up, I'll show you the door. When you open this up, you can see it opens a trap door to the front of the firebox that allows the smoke to escape through the chimney while you're loading it, as opposed to the old type outdoor wood boilers that you get a puff of smoke when you open the door, and you get a lot of soot and everything above the door that you have to end up cleaning. The second handle is the vertical turbulator handle. Every time I fill the outdoor wood boiler and I close the door, I come here, I bring this back and drop it. And what that does is it knocks the soot off into the firebox down below and gets burned up. No cleaning tubes with brushes like the old style or old way of doing it. This is really neat. And I just do that about 5 times and it's clean. As I mentioned before, we're using a 6-inch chimney on the G200. Now the rain cap does not come with the unit. That I had to buy separately, but I found during our spring and fall rains it's beneficial because then the creosote doesn't get all caked up in my vertical tubes, my turbulator tubes. And this is the other cool feature about it, is I can tell if I'm low on water by just looking at this. Very simple. And if I need to fill it, I have two options. I can pull that rod totally out and fill it with a garden hose, or I can go to my hot water tank and there is a hose bib that I can hook a garden hose to, turn it on, and it'll fill it that way. So two options there. Every year I have to mail in a water sample to Heatmaster. They analyze it and let me know if I have to use any additives so I don't void my warranty. Now there's this little red light. If it appears, naturally red means something's wrong, and that means I'm low on wood or the temperature has gone below the specifications, and that turns on telling me I need to feed the outdoor wood boiler. Let's check out the top loading door with adjustable locking hinges. That every so often these hinges need to be adjusted, and all you do is take a wrench, open that up, twist that up, and then the cam clicks it so that it locks better. Very positive fit though. Here is the unit. This is a sacrificial drip tray, so in case there's moisture that builds up here, it drops in here. This is the automatic dampener control. With the door off, this is the dampener control. And this opens and closes as necessary. Now here's the heart of the gasification unit. One thing Heatmaster does very well is put a sight glass here inside so you don't have to open up the door to see if it's gasifying. All you do is open it right there and you can see inside. And after a while you know which flame is appropriate when it's gasifying. Here's another view of the gasification sight glass inside out so you can see how it looks. Let's open her up now and check it out. Here's where all the magic happens. The heat comes through here, goes around both sides, and then up the turbulator tubes, which gives you the most heat. Let's take a look at the back side of the unit now. Rigid insulation as opposed to the regular insulation that you see out there. The unit is really simple. I have two zones here. One that goes to the house, one that goes to the pole barn. Let me show you the heat exchange tube area and how easy it is to clean. All I need to do is unplug it, push that in, pull the pin out, and this whole door comes up open. And it just pops right out. Let me show you how the heat exchange tubes work, as well as the smoke bypass door. Here's how I clean my vertical heat exchange tubes. I just move the handle. And that's it. 5 times and I'm done. Here's the smoke bypass door. Couple other comments if you do decide on putting an outdoor wood boiler in. First, make sure you contact your insurance company. My company said I had to keep it at least 25 feet away from my house or dwelling or garage, whichever, and 50 feet away from my neighbor's property. So keep that in mind too. The other thing to keep in mind is try to keep it as close to the area as you're going to heat. The reason I say that is the cost of the tubing that has to be buried in the ground is extremely expensive. And the other thing is either trenching or excavating is expensive as well. So for my house, it's 80 feet to the house and 25 feet to my pole barn. It's not all peaches and cream. Let me show you some of the issues that I have had. For such a nice unit, this is a pretty flimsy door here. You would think that it would be metal. The other thing is, Inside here are fuses. The first year I did have a fuse blow in there. The unit does come with spare fuses. There's a slow blow and a regular glass fuse. You can get them at any automotive store. But the slow blow are a little bit more difficult. I went ahead and went on Amazon and got some extras. Though I don't have it here, I always tape 2 fuses right on the door so I have them handy. I'm starting my 4th heating season. Last year, about January, this smoke bypass motor went out on me last year. I had to replace this motor. The other issue that I'm not very pleased with is, though everything else is fine, the paint is starting to peel on the door here. And I did contact the installer, and he said he would take care of that. He'd come out here and clean this all up and repaint it. But that, in my mind, should not happen. But once again, we're in Wisconsin with some pretty crappy weather. And the last thing, nothing very big, but I wish they put a light in here like some other manufacturers do, so that when I come in here at night, I can flip a switch and I'd have some light here to take a look. Otherwise, I do have a light source here, but I end up just putting my headlamp on and loading the outdoor wood boiler, which is fine. I have no problems there. I know one of the last questions you're going to ask is, well, what's the cost on something like this? The full installation, including the unit, excavating, and everything else, was $16,500. Well, in conclusion, I hope you found this video informative and entertaining. And if nothing else, it'll give you an idea whether you want to do an outdoor wood boiler or not. I will leave the information for my installer in the information section below. As usual, remember, pass it forward, make the world a better place. And don't be a tool. Watch Tony's Cool Tool. Thanks, and until I see you again, have a great day.